um,
You didn't.
I think you have to press the button saying go
Yeah,
live.
you definitely have to. It's go fucking live.
Yeah, no, we're live now. We are live now. Welcome, people, to today's live stream. How's everyone doing?
There we go. Hey man, I would like to first apologize. Um, we are late, definitely. What time is it? 10:55. We're 15 minutes late, man. Do you want to tell them why you were late?
Yeah, no, like again, like I don't want to like cast blame or anything, but this is like pretty clearly, definitively on your shoulders and 100% your fault. I'm not trying to like, cast blame here,
Right.
but I think it's like, you know,
What's gas plane?
cast blame. Like I'm not trying to like call you out or anything, but it is like 100% your fault. Not to like call you out because that's
Yeah.
not what I'm trying to do, but it is like
You wanted to
definitively.
start a cult.
Bro,
You
I'm
were talking about
telling.
starting a cult.
Listen, no, listen, man. You gotta listen to me. Like I know you're just out here like hating on a young G trying to make it.
Hating on a young G.
Yeah,
My
no, like, bro,
goodness.
listen, you don't
You're
understand the upside
yeah.
potential. You're so focused on like just negativity and just like old school mentality, and I'm trying to like show you
And
the way.
what makes me, be, I guess, a young G,
What?
young G like you.
Well, look, man, I'm like, you just gotta find an opportunity and just like chase it. Like I'm all about positivity and positive vibes. Like that's why I want to start a cult. Like I want to go to Cali, have a website, just start a cult, and then we can have like tax write-offs and have like cool barbecues and stuff. But like you're out here, you're just like hating. You're shooting down these ideas. You're like, oh, call
You're
you.
actually giving me a headache. You're actually giving me a headache.
There's
It's
no,
fine.
there's no downside to this. Name
There-
one downside to
not.
starting a cult.
I guess not. Imagine you. Oh my goodness. I feel bad for people.
Bro, I'm
Crazy.
telling you, we can start a cult. We'll have coupons, with barbecues and stuff, and I get, the perks of being like a leader,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
No,
you can
for
make it a
sure.
fun cult. You don't have to make it like anything, crazy. I'm not talking about like Scientology. I mean, sure, we'll take your money and blackmail you, but like nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying?
So Bitcoin, guys, thank you for being a part of this live stream. Sorry for being late. I guess you see what we're dealing with here. So
The kind of production
yeah.
meetings we have beforehand.
This is exactly how we discuss things, and it's pretty interesting
Yeah.
discussing it with this guy. So, hey man, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I mean, what we expect is could happen is pretty much happening. I mean, man, the other day we were talking about how we're finding rejection off the 200 EMA. We're talking about a pullback target, and that seems to be exactly what's happening. So, I mean, I don't think this is anything to be freaked out. We're pretty much sitting support on kind of the base of our ascending triangle / wedge here. But I do think a little bit more downside is definitely in the works. Because, man, for me, I think that a retest of the original breakout point makes a lot of sense. Don't you think?
It does make a lot of sense. Can you hear me, by the way? Fine?
I can hear you. Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, fine. So yeah, man, I do agree. I mean, yesterday we talked about it. We had a bit of a breakout on the 1 hourly chart, and we saw pretty significant resistance at the 40 to 41k level. So we said, look, we do expect Bitcoin to drop to the 38k. This could be it. I still suspect it, like at least maybe trying to come back down to meet this guy over here at the 38 exactly. But yeah, I guess we're still up to plan. The only thing we need, Bitcoin respecting this level. So we need Bitcoin respecting this zone over here for us to see, but this is the most important level at the moment. I don't want to see Bitcoin drop below that. I think overall we know exactly where that wedge was, so that's pretty good. We can see Bitcoin come back down to retest this area. There's support going to be here. Support is going to be also on this side, and exactly where the breakout is. So we haven't really tested the breakout much fully on those at least in mid time frames, maybe to the 1 hour. So yeah, man, pretty exciting. I think this is the level we need to be looking at. Somewhere low 38,000 to 39,000 is where the support should be, where we do anticipate some sort of buying power to start coming in, creeping in, if the market is ready for it. So
Yeah, I think so.
Thanks
man.
for sharing my screen, by the way.
I do, bro. We're on, we're on your screen, man.
I
There's
just love- I
there's
just love
there's lag on your end. But yeah, man. No. Like again, if we go to back to like my screen here, I think it's pretty clear that, especially right now, since we're kind of breaking down here, I think that we probably, just like you said, man, 38,000, 39,000 makes a lot of sense. Going back to the daily here, we can see that we had some daily candles reacting kind of off 37,500, the kind of mid 37,000 range. We also have a lot of volume, the VPVR point of control at 37,000 and just under. So from about like 36,800 to 37,600, about like $1,000 range of support around that kind of $37,000 region. Daily candles there, volume there. And then aside from that, we also have a bunch of daily candles reacting off 34,600. So I think there's two clusters of very, very strong support that need to hold. That if we start to fall below, I start to get worried about Bitcoin. The key factor here is not putting in lower lows, because the more lower lows we put in, that's bearish confirmation, and that's what we don't want to see when the market's super, super precarious. A rejection is fine, but as long as we put in these higher lows, that's what we want to see. And so again, man, a retest of the original breakout point at around, around 37,000, 38,000 does make a lot of sense in my opinion. And with the weakness we're seeing in the short term, kind of looking here at the hourly, we tried to have bullish crossovers, bullish divergence. Every time we tried to, we just couldn't. The indicators look garbage. We're looking very weak. So if kind of 38,700 does not hold, we're probably going to retest these regions we've just described.
Definitely, man. I see a bunch of people here in the comments. Good morning, guys. How did we meet?
How did we meet?
Oh, yes, on a project.
Yes,
I regret that day, man. You want to tell these guys how we met?
Bro, we made that job fun. Come on, like it would have been miserable.
It was.
We met at a construction site. My body was broken, and Messin was put in what was it, like, you were my caretaker. You were put in charge of overseeing the broken people,
diapers and all that stuff for this guy. We're building a wind farm, renewable energy. Hopefully we'll get all these miners on the project as well, man. I don't know what happened to that project. It's been like what, 3-4 years now.
Yeah, we should not here, but like one day we should talk about the project. No, we should.
100%. No. I'm ready to put everybody on blast.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. But we're probably gonna get sued for it. So
it's just it's not. We don't want to. Yeah. I
see.
Go ahead.
No, Dolphin saying, good morning, guys. Good morning. Please tell me it was on the crypto version of Tinder. Buff on the beat, man. What the hell are you saying?
Man, that's a great idea. Crypto version of Tinder. Interesting. Yeah, you wouldn't get a lot of downloads though.
Like OnlyFans crypto.
It would be like a heavy ratio of like guys to girls. It'd be like
100%.
10 guys per one girl. I don't know if it would succeed.
100%.
Yeah.
Bro, what the hell is going on with Tether? We know Tether yesterday printed a couple. Let us know, guys, whatever you know about Tether here. We didn't really look into it much.
I know.
They printed a bunch, man.
Yeah, okay, so here's the thing. So Tether put out, they were audited by like some, I don't know if it was some what regulatory body it was, but Tether got audited recently and they were clean. So look, there's a lot of FUD behind Tether, but they were audited as of recently. And so look, again, maybe there is further Tether FUD. Maybe this audit was bullshit. Maybe they're hiding some stuff. Maybe they were in cahoots. Who knows who's cahooting with who? But bottom line is, as of now, Tether does seem to be above water and legit, at least for the moment.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think I saw I watched a couple of things saying or talking about, that being used to inflate the crypto market. And I wouldn't really be surprised. But again, with USDT being under the microscope like that, I don't know if that's something they're willing to do at the moment. Especially, I think they settled some sort of a case recently.
Yeah, they got audited.
They're still on the they're still on the hook, man. They're still on the hook. So I don't know if that's 1 billion out of nowhere like that, just to inflate the market and on everybody's eyes. I don't know, everybody's watch. I don't know.
Well, look, also, man, like this is a multi-trillion-dollar market at this point. Is $1 billion really going to move the market that much? I mean, I guess so. But look, bottom line is we have plenty of other stable coins now. We have DAI, USDC. If there was some real Tether FUD that Tether was just printing money, there was nothing to back it up. It would probably spook things in the short term, but over long term, it wouldn't be an issue at all. It would just, there's so many other stable coins out there just to take Tether's spot. So, look, if there was some major Tether FUD, that came out, it would probably spook the market and cause a correction or crash. But again, just a temporary issue.
Definitely.
Yeah.
100%. So let us know, guys, if there's something that we maybe don't know about or something. Yeah, man. Yeah, yes. I'm just sharing this link quickly. Did you share to the Discord yet? Or I'll do it
No.
right away.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
Yeah.
how about this? Continue with the just talk about the price action a bit, and I'll come
Yeah,
back in
yeah.
a
Okay,
second.
so yes, so coming back to my screen here. So guys, look, if we kind of zoom in on price structure here, so it does make a lot of sense where we found rejection off of the 200 daily exponential moving average. It makes sense that we wouldn't kind of blast through it right away. It makes sense that we'd retest the breakout point. It would make sense that we put in a higher low. So if we do correct further and we do put in a higher low, that will just make the impulse on the other end much more stronger and much more sustainable. Again, guys, if we put in higher lows and we keep testing resistance, the more times we test resistance, the more likely we are to break through. And it does seem like we're going to get that death cross that everyone and their mother is talking about. The death cross being bearish crossover with the 50 daily simple moving average and the 200 daily simple moving average. And sometimes, again, people place a lot of importance on that, but I don't place too much importance on it personally, because here we had death cross and we pumped, and then here we had death cross and we dumped. So it doesn't seem to be crazy significant. Again, it's just all this is telling us is price is bearish, and that's rather obvious. So I don't think this provides anything we don't already understand. And again, sometimes we pump, sometimes we dump. So at this point, as long as we put in a higher low, retest a breakup point, hold that as support, then the next impulse will be done so more sustainably. Also, man, like at the end of the day, I think Bitcoin's future is going to be decided in the near future. Like we can't just like consolidate forever. We're really stuck in between this tight range between 30,000 and $42,000. Like, we're just stuck in this range. We're not going to be in this range forever. Eventually, we're going to break out. And in my opinion, we're likely to leave this range like this month, man. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next couple weeks we definitively leave this range, either below 30 or above 40, above 42. And for me, guys, for Bitcoin to start looking healthy, again, we need this goddamn confirmation. We need to start getting above resistance. We need to get above 41. We need to get above 42. We need to get above these clusters of moving averages. Once we can do that, then we can start to be a little bit more confident about Bitcoin's future and a little bit more confident about buying the dip on a lot of alts, because I'm fully degenning out, buying the dip on all the alts I can get my hands on. But if Bitcoin decides to crash, I'm definitely going to lose unrealized gains in the short term, because guys, like if Bitcoin crashes, alts are going to crash heavier. It is Bitcoin's market right now. Bitcoin is fully leading the market. So once we see a bit of strength come back with Bitcoin, then we can be more confident about buying back into the alts. What do you think there, man? Are you good on your end?
Talking about? What are you talking? What are you going off about?
Because listen, man,
Just
like
go for a couple minutes and you just
look, because I got a list about a half a dozen or so alts here. I aped into myself, looking to share. But before we ape in, we want a little bit more confidence that the bull market could continue. We want to get above some resistance, and we still haven't done it. Like, we have broken the bearish price structure because we've put it in higher highs and higher lows, which we haven't done since I mean the dump originated back in April. So that's good to see. We're starting to see some of those signs, but we still haven't gotten that true macro confirmation. We need to start flipping these moving averages, and until we do that, as long as we keep getting rejected, Bitcoin is still precarious.
100%, man. 100%.
Yeah,
Definitely do. Look, again, we saw the story. We saw how things have been developing in the market right now. We see what the price action is telling us. We did expect some sort of resistance at this level right now. We do 100% need some sort of confirmation. We know the levels or the hurdles along the way that we need to get above. We know on the daily where those major levels are. I agree with you, whatever you have on your chart. First time we're hitting this, we're not just gonna pass through it right away. Same thing here. Same thing here. You come back to these are just like first steps that the market would try to go for first. These major level, 100 EMA, 200 EMA. We don't want to, I guess, spend too much time on it here because we always say it every day. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. You're gonna hear a lot of the same things being said over and over again until you actually, I guess, understand it. But that's what the market is. But overall, again, as soon as we don't just completely get to a level as such as 100 EMA or 200 EMA and just fully just pass through it. We always gotta test it. First time hit it, didn't work. Next time, come back to retest. Next thing, 200 EMA. That didn't work for a couple of days. We tried to bounce above it. That as soon as we actually dropped below it, you see how crazy it went. And now we're trying to retest it again. So are we gonna find that rejection and actually fully continue to break below this? So that's what we're saying. Look, this is going to affect the whole crypto market. And overall, if you're in the whatever altcoin you're in at the moment, this is also going to be affected by, if you guys bought us or you've been following us from a long time ago. Uh, Overall, we never really used to start any kind of video fully with Bitcoin in mind. So as Bitcoin is kind of uptrending, we understand that altcoins will move in a more of a the way with their price action relevant to their price action. But if Bitcoin is having a bit of a bearish day or a bearish trend for the short term, then altcoins just typically follow it, and that's normal. So right now, because we're at no one pays attention to Bitcoin until Bitcoin starts to just literally absorb the whole market, just move everything along with it. And that's what it is right now. That's why everyone's paying attention to Bitcoin. As soon as this thing, as soon as we're confirming some sort of an uptrend, obviously we'll pay attention to a lot more altcoins. But right now, they're fully dependent on this price action. So this is what I'm thinking, man. I don't know if you agree or not. But even if we just do a raw, bare bone analysis of this at the daily, we see that that we need to break above this level. It was the first support we got to here. 42,000, this is 200 EMA. We went back to retest it, fully got rejected off, and ever since we've been consolidating. Right now, we're trying to jab across it again. Now, is this going to hold or not? So we know that this level over here, the 40,000 or 41,000, but it looks like the 40,900 is where this is. So we go to the 4 hour, and we're looking at the 4 hour now. The only support I can see at the moment that's pretty clear that we can rely on is at least this guy over here, because you can see overall it's been driving us down. First time, second time, not until we actually broke above it when everyone actually started turning a bit bullish. So this is the 100 EMA on the 4 hour chart. Now we're testing the 200 EMA. Overall, the support that we need to make sure that we're actually above and we do not break below is definitely somewhere closer to 38,000, man. I don't want to, I can see Bitcoin still continue to fall down, but I don't want it to make a lower or break this support over here. I think it's pretty clear. These are the only two data points that we can pull right now to say that clearly there should be some sort of support right now. We need to see the market. Is the market ready for this kind of support? Are buyers going to jump in? If yes, pretty good. And we're most likely going to do something like this, where we're actually going to get to a point where we're going back down, see if buyers actually come back in, and then this EMA over here will meet us. Then we'll go back up, jab across it, and then we get here somewhere within within the next 3 days, where supply and demand will have to meet, and thus is going to be a very decisive point. Look, you had a breakout above these levels, and buyers came in. Were there enough buyers to actually continue to move Bitcoin up to these higher levels we're talking about? We need to see if the market does that, but for the short term, this is the support I'm looking at. This level over here, somewhere close to low 38,000s to the 39,000. We need to see buyers start to jump in, and maybe it can go back down at least 37,700. But I wanted to find support at this line, and at least remain above this this breakout point for the retest. So if that doesn't happen, I'm gonna have a different outlook for the short term, and then we need to see where buyers will be more interested in jumping in.
Yeah. No, I think I have a slightly different outlook, which is, while I agree with you that trend line, that white trend line you have drawn there is obviously relevant, and we can see how it's clearly forming a basis of support. That's obviously very relevant. In my opinion, looking at the daily, I think we can draw a bit more of a range that could act as a secondary layer of support if we cannot hold that green trend line that you had drawn there. Just based off some daily candles here, we can see how this range at kind of 37,300, 400, super price reactive on the daily here. Constant resistance. As soon as we got above it, we shot above it, and we broke above our resistance. We broke the bearish price structure. So given that we formed a clear base here, and as soon as we broke above it, that's when we kind of impulsed up quite a bit. I think this is a very relevant zone. And man, I think this could be super simple, which we had a breakout, and we're just coming back down and retest the breakout point. This happens on macro scales, it happens on micro scales, it happens all the time. We had a breakout, we never retested the breakout point, and we're getting rejected off resistance. Makes a lot of sense. Also, man, in terms of identifying what's the clearest most important thing to look out for here in the short term. I think you're right about the 200 EMA on the daily, because while the 200 simple moving average is obviously relevant as well, it's a very macro time frame moving average. We can clearly see that the 200 EMA on the daily was much more price reactive. You're right. Where did we stop dumping and find our temporary support? Right on the 200 EMA. We broke below it, came back up to retest it. Where did we find our rejection? Right on the 200 EMA. And so right now, again, we're finding our rejection there. So I think this is kind of, in terms of calling the inflection point in the short term, to really start looking a bit more strong in the short term, is we need to get above this thing. We need to hold $41,000. We need to get hourly candles. We need to get 1 or 2 daily candles fully closing above this thing. Once we can get and hold 41K, then Bitcoin starts to look a lot more confident and a lot more bullish. Until then, man, we're still finding that rejection. Bitcoin's still in a very precarious zone here. So also, I do think it's a bit more of a range, in my opinion, what's significant here, although I do think your trend line is relevant. So again, just to describe this range and let me know what you think. 36,800 to about, kind of the top of these daily candles, incorporate some of these wicks. That's, again, the VP for our point of control. So, based off price action and volume, I do think it's likely to be relevant. Again, that's also like the upper extremities of what once was our resistance, right, from this wedge. And I'm sure you agree, but also,
I just want to ask about actually your chart. So maybe mine, I think was a bit too aggressive. I think too tight in terms of price action. I do think in a nutshell, I guess what we both agree on, just so for the people listening, we are heading towards some sort of support level. And I would say two support levels kind of stand out for us, which is that previous resistance, even if it is a bit more slanted to the bottom. So even if I take this away, it is a bit more slanted to the bottom. So we could find maybe it going down to the 36,000 you're saying, and then just to retest that breakout point or whatever the case might be. And we also have another sort of support line where we would 100% see some buyers try to jump in again, somewhere close to the 37. So I guess we got 2 levels where we can identify now. You're saying mine, I guess, is maybe a bit. Maybe I'm adding too much.
I think it's more short term.
This right here. Yeah. So this is. I think you're right. I think somewhere where it's in the short term, I think the biggest support level would be this line over here, this resistance that we clearly broke out of for this wedge. And man, I think you're right. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Yeah,
it's all layers of support, right? We're just trying to identify all the different layers, and we're really trying to identify what's clear. So while there are several different support layers below us, and we won't know what's really the most relevant until we test it and see what we react off of, but I think it's pretty clear in terms of resistance, what it's going to take for us to like really take off here, which is the most price reactive level currently, that being that 200 daily exponential moving average. See, clearly support, clearly resistance, even here in the short term. Again, just confirmation of how of the importance of this level. So again, and we also have a fib level right there, by the way, man, the 382 right there. So we have, again, that previous peak, man, this is the level. We have so many reasons converging right at 41K as the inflection point. We have this previous peak here. We have a fib level here. We have the 200 daily exponential moving average. We have in the short term reactivity off this level. I think it's super clear. We need to flip 41K. We need to hold 41K.
100%, man.
Yeah,
100%.
Until we do, Bitcoin is very precarious and is weak, in my opinion.
Very precarious.
Yeah.
So, guys, look, there's how many people we got here? We got 103 people. If you like the live stream so far, make sure press that like button. It helps out with the engagement. If you think we're providing some sort of value, then other people will probably think this is the same thing. So make sure you hit that like button. It definitely helps us out a lot with more people seeing this and engaging with it. So 100% we appreciate it. And we're going to talk about Vechain. We're going to talk about Ethereum. There's a couple news stories that you 100% need to know about, because we don't just talk about price levels here. There's a lot of things outside of the price action that you 100% need to know about, especially with all the adoption that we've been having, especially with a bunch of different powers, different governments trying to dabble in the crypto space and see who's gonna accumulate more. Talking about accumulation, man, buddy boy Michael Saylor's adding another 1 billion or something recently. I don't know if you saw that.
I love this guy.
How much more do we need?
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah.
Also, he sounds pretty confident about they're a software company, man. They're actually a software company. So
They're a software company. They're basically an ETF at this point, like a Bitcoin ETF. Like I get that they're a
that's crazy.
software company, but like that's like what 0.1% of their business at this point. Like,
Yeah, I guess
um,
so. This guy's buying Bitcoin left and right.
I
It's
love it.
crazy.
I love it. A healthy Bitcoin is good for the alts. And
Yeah, man.
also, man, I would just add from my end here, like one of the last final things that's most important to understand with Bitcoin is that we're quickly approaching resistance on the daily RSI here, and this is ultra significant in my opinion. This is like the thing we need to look out for because guys, all throughout this cycle's parabolic growth, at least the majority of it, we've held this daily trend line on the RSI as resistance. We've respected it. We had higher highs in price action, lower highs in RSI, classic bearish divergence. All right, and it seems like we're soon going to impulse up to retest this resistance. And as soon as we see bullish divergence from the resistance that we've held all throughout the cycle's uptrend, I think that is when Bitcoin is truly ready to take off. When we see something like this, we come back down maybe in the short term, maybe test it again, come back down. If we break above, come back, retest, and then start to move up again, oof, dude, I think that is one of the factors we need to look out for. And man, like when it happens, I bet you everyone and their mother is gonna be talking about it. But we have been talking about it for weeks and weeks at this point. The importance of this daily RSI. We've respected it all throughout our uptrend. So I bet you once we see divergence, it's probably gonna be pretty significant. What do you think, Peter?
100%.
Yeah.
No, yeah, no, I agree, man. I agree. I think it's just a matter of, we've been, as soon as we start having that big drop, we've been talking about patience. And yeah, we're not rushing into anything. We're not aping into anything that much yet.
Speak
We
for
need to
yourself.
see more and more. I know. And that's why I'm like, I just kind of lowered my voice here. But anyways, look, we're trying to look for more confirmation. We're trying to see how the whole market's reacting. And, the more data points you include in your analysis, the better edge you have over the market. The more you know about the news, the more you know about what's happening in on-chain metrics, the more you know what Elon's saying, I guess, the more you're looking at what the government is doing with central bank digital currencies, what China's doing on miners, the more you have a better analysis, so it's all about how much data you can collect and how you can digest it and play with it. And yeah, think about whatever can come up, because you can never actually predict the market. We always say that. So we're just weathermen, guys. Don't listen to us. We're just some random guys on YouTube, and that's pretty much it, right, man?
Well, man, again, I think I'd slightly
Don't listen.
I would slightly disagree. I think, look, man, like again, I agree with you in the sense of like, don't listen to us. You should be confident in your own understanding. You shouldn't buy or sell anything based off what we say. Hopefully, again, you guys listen to the things we consider and you come up with your own understanding. But man, like I do think we have a pretty good, gauge and finger on the market. And I do think hopefully we can identify for you guys some of the key factors that we need to look out for to be more confident of the macro direction and have a better sense of clarity. And what we need is confirmation and getting above or below these major levels.
Oh my God, no.
Also, man, look
This
at
was in the chat.
who?
Dank McDizzle.
Dank McDizzle, welcome back. Where is he? What's he saying?
Where's he at? He's just saying yes. He said yes to something.
Awesome.
Kinda
Yes. Great show, guys. Thanks for the analysis. Thank you, Edward. That's very sweet. Yes, and also, man, looking here at the volume, there's no volume. Volume is coming down quite substantially.
Oh, yeah.
Not a lot of buy pressure, especially when you're breaking out and you have decreasing volume. It's not what you want to see.
100%, man. I agree. That the market is. By the way, I
Mm.
mean, I don't know if we're done talking about the price action, but it
We
just
can keep
goes
going.
pretty well to your to what you're saying right now. We saw this today, me and you in the morning. We didn't fully get into it yet, guys. So we'll leave it in the description for you to read up on. Actually, no, let me just send this in the chat for you guys to read up on it while we're reading it as well, man. On Crypto Potato, very credible. Bitcoin buying spree. Whales purchased 90,000 Bitcoin in 25 days, man. Whales own almost 50% of Bitcoin circulation. They now hold a 7-week high of 9.11 million Bitcoins, currently worth a total of 367 billion at this time, noted the analytics company. And added that this impressive amount represents 48.7% of the total Bitcoin supply. 50% is just whales. Whales, I don't know if that includes institutions and accumulation overall, but god damn, man, half of the supply,
Yeah.
and they're still going at it.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think about that? Scared?
I think that's
Happy?
Michael Saylor. I
I
feel like
think he is, man.
yeah. No, man, look, Bitcoin, again, like, I'm not the biggest fan. Like, man, for me, Bitcoin's a coin of the rich. You're not going to get rich hodling Bitcoin. You're really not. Unless you already have a bunch of money, you're really not going to make life changing money with Bitcoin. Now, a lot
So
of
can
people.
I don't think we actually talked about that much in the live show. Sorry to cut you off. So why do you think Bitcoin is not where it's at?
What do you mean? Well, because you can make more money with other projects. Like for example, like I'm trying to identify because for me, Bitcoin is a rather silly trade because you can make a lot more money with other projects. Other projects consistently outperform Bitcoin, like Ethereum, for example. So I'm trying to
Mhm.
come up with reasons. Okay, given that things consistently outperform Bitcoin, why would you hold Bitcoin? So I'm trying to think of reasons, right? I'm trying to be the devil's
Mhm.
advocate here. So diversification is one reason. Okay, you don't want to have all your money in one basket. You want to be diversified. Great. Perceived safetiness. You know, people perceive Bitcoin as being very safe, something with staying power. And I would agree. I think it's relatively safe, relatively stable when it comes to crypto. One of the
Mhm.
more stable options in long-term staying power. So I get it, but if one of your greatest concerns is return on investment, then there's just better options. And there's also options that are arguably just as safe or arguably have long-term staying power as well. So I
Mhm.
mean, like every benefit that you can come up with Bitcoin, I think exists in perhaps a more optimal way with other projects such as Ethereum. I think Ethereum is just as safe, has just as much staying power, consistently outperforms Bitcoin. I think is likely to do so moving forward. So why in the world would you hold Bitcoin when you have Ethereum as an option, which is extremely likely to outperform it moving forward, pretty much forever, and is just as safe, has just as much staying power. So again, like it just doesn't make like unless like the best argument I can come up with for holding Bitcoin is diversification. Where in the short term, throughout certain periods, Bitcoin may outperform alts in the short term, but over the long term, something like Ethereum is going to constantly outperform Bitcoin, especially after EIP 1559 and deflate and it becomes deflationary.
Right.
It just doesn't make any sense to hold Bitcoin unless like it's almost like for
What if
me,
you have
it's like you're
what
choosing
if
to
you have
make
a
less
billion
money.
dollars? What if you have $1 billion?
Okay, see, then that makes sense. So this goes back to my original point, which is Bitcoin is a coin of the rich. Like, if you're rich, your number one goal is to not like go for the highest return on investment theoretically possible. Your goal is to yes grow your money, but first off sustain it, keep your money. And so that why it makes a lot of sense for a billionaire to put his money in Bitcoin because yeah, it's gonna 5x, it's gonna 10x over the next 5 years, 10 years. But if you're like a regular person thinking you're going to become a millionaire, putting a couple $100 in Bitcoin, it's just not going to happen. Look, it's. I like Bitcoin. I understand the use case, all the reasons why people say Bitcoin is great is all true and valid. But in comparison to your other options, it's rather silly to invest in Bitcoin, in my opinion. If your priority is high return on investment, because
Yeah, I think that's pretty important to say.
yeah,
If you're high, if where you're. By the way, apparently
it's all
people are
about your
saying that my
priority.
voice is yeah, my voice is a bit low. I don't know if you have me kind of lower on your end there, but
I'll raise it.
yeah. So yeah, I think it's pretty important to say that it depends on what you're trying to
A
accomplish. You
hundred
know, are you
percent.
trying to hedge against the inflation, where you know it's looking at 5-6%?
Yeah, Ethereum's a better option.
Your investment, yeah, your investment is not bringing you enough to even hedge against inflation. Okay, you know, I got $1 billion. I don't know what Ethereum is gonna do. I don't know what Chainlink is gonna do. Sure, crypto is gonna go crazy at one point, go really high up. But at this point, when I have $1 billion, I just want to secure it.
Right.
And if I get, you know, 5% on $1 billion, that's a bunch of money. Let's say for now, knowing that you know I got hyperinflation coming up and this and that, and the whole world is in turmoil and you know, so that's what I feel like, you know, as in
Yeah, yeah.
Bitcoin could be actually just, I just want to store my money for the time being. And yeah, sure, I don't want to make a lot of money, but I just want to make sure, is it secure? Perfect. I don't care about it being, having a higher transaction, or only 10 transactions per minute on average, whatever the case might be. It's more like, that's even better. You know, it's like gold. Gold, you can't cut up gold and go and go buy with it. You know, go buy things with it. I just want to store it. That's why gold is a. So that's what I feel like. You know, like I agree with you. If you're someone, let's say has somewhere, you know, some maybe something below 100K. is something that makes sense. But I feel like once we start getting to the millions and the billions of dollars, then I feel like you don't want. And if you have like investors and shareholders that are nagging, and they obviously need some sort of risk management. And yeah, I feel like Bitcoin is definitely where it's at. But yeah,
Yeah,
man, we're excited. If you guys watch us, man,
yeah.
we're excited about a bunch of different things. We're gonna talk about a bunch of different things, including we haven't talked about Vechain for a while. We haven't talked about we talked about Ethereum, Cardano as well. But yeah, man,
Um,
yeah,
but yeah, just maybe to wrap up on this point here, which is not like I agree with you. I think it's all a matter of what you're trying to achieve, right? If what you want to achieve is put your money in something that you perceive to be extremely safe, but also has high ROI, then sure, I guess Bitcoin makes sense. But for me, when you have literally over 10,000 options to invest in cryptocurrency, and while Bitcoin is great in comparison to Ethereum, in my subjective opinion, I think Ethereum is obviously a much better choice because, in my opinion, I think it's just as safe. But others may disagree. I see a comment over here. Ryan Mallon is saying, I disagree. You have no idea if Ethereum will be here in 4 years. It could be MySpace of DeFi, has competition coming with Polkadot, Solana, Cardano, Binance Smart Chain. And you know what? That's true. Ethereum has roughly a dozen or so, well over a dozen major competitors doing similar things. Ethereum has a lot of problems. It's not scalable yet. High transaction fees. There are a lot of problems with Ethereum. For me, I think a lot of these problems are solvable. I think a lot of these problems are just a matter of time. Ethereum 2.0 is going to be introduced in 1 or 2 years. And if you compare kind of all the first mover advantage and all the development users, developers, value in the ecosystem already, it's just so many leaps and bounds ahead of all its other competition. While I like Cardano and Polkadot and all these other projects, and I own a lot of them, I do think that it's rather obvious that how better well positioned Ethereum is to be the leader in the space moving forward. But you know what? At the end of the day, I get it. A lot of people, I think it's easy to theorize how Ethereum could not succeed, and for me, it just boils down to I don't know, man, just having the greater insight. And I also find these Bitcoin people super ironic, which is these Bitcoin investors had the foresight, had the insight to know more than others and see the value in Bitcoin before the legacy markets saw the value in it. But their insight stopped short right at Ethereum and right at DeFi and right in smart contracts. I find it very ironic how the how the foresight ends right at Bitcoin and doesn't go further. So again, man, this is just my opinion, but I do think if your priority is return on investment and you also want something that's relatively safe, I think Ethereum is a much better option than Bitcoin. I think Ethereum is going to
100%.
overtake Bitcoin in terms of market cap, man. Once Ethereum becomes deflationary, EIP 1559, coming this goddamn summer in a few months, and becomes scalable over this next year and the year after, it's a wrap, man. I think it's a matter of time before Bitcoin flips, before Ethereum flips Bitcoin in terms of market cap.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. This is definitely something we need to keep in mind because, I mean, obviously, a lot of people are in it for just for the gains as well, man. That's why you got a lot of these meme coins blowing up, right? Just because no one cares about the fundamentals, they just want to make some money, and that's there's always a market for that. If you're looking at more security and you want to hedge against certain things, and you're just looking for somewhere between 1% maybe 6-7% returns, then there's a market for that. If you're looking for something somewhere in between where it has a use case, there's a market for that too. So it's definitely the whole crypto market is bringing every kind of investor in, and man, let's just see how it plays out, man. Let's see how it plays out.
We'll
We have
see.
189
Yeah, we'll
people
see.
here. If you guys like the live stream so far, make sure you press that like button. Wow, that's pretty bad the way
It's all right, man. You're French.
Hey, I am, I guess, French, Spanish. I got a bunch of other. I got Russian a couple of days ago. That's crazy how deep the accent is. But listen, man, I guess we're good with the price action. We have a couple new stories you want to talk about here.
Let's do it.
If you want to maybe start first or something, what do you
Yeah,
got
yeah.
here?
So I got something in mind here, which is General Motors may start accepting Bitcoin if there's customer demand. And guys, look, we're on the right, like whether this happens or not, we're on the right side of history being in crypto. If you're holding quality projects, things like Bitcoin, things like Ethereum, and look, while I do like I love Ethereum, and I dislike Bitcoin because in comparison to other options, I think it's rather silly. I do think there's obviously good reasons to like Bitcoin, and if you're holding quality over the long term, we're likely to be right. It's just the timing that's uncertain. What's more certain is the likelihood of this asset continuing to grow, continuing to get adoption, and we're constantly seeing day after day more signs of adoption, more signs of use case, more signs of mainstream adoption. And so we're on the right side. So guys, we gotta have a long-term mindset because we don't know if next month we'll be in a bear market or the bull market will continue. I think the bull market will continue, but we could be wrong. So we gotta have a long-term mindset because at the end of the day, adoption is going one way. More and more adoption, more companies, more countries starting to talk about Bitcoin, starting to talk about crypto, and starting to adopt it. We have, man, like we have banks coming out with CBDCs. It's just the beginning. We're so early in the space. Adoption is only starting to be talked about as a real thing. So we gotta have a long term mindset, man, because this is early days. Imagine what this space is gonna look like in 10 years. You know?
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, like how many companies are going to be holding Bitcoin on their balance sheet?
Yeah, they're already doing it right now, man. We're already seeing a lot of that happen at the moment, and yeah, it's just. I mean, I don't even know, man. That's we've been asking for adoption for the longest time. Adoption comes in with a lot of volatility behind it, and that's what's happening in the market right now. Then again, with regulations and not complacency, compliance with the current policies and regulations, and like this whole sustainable factor of whether Bitcoin is actually green or not. That's obviously also playing a huge factor in this whole thing. Mining in China and crypto mining and crackdowns and banning in Iran at one point, then the next day banning mining, then the next day, oh, now we're accepting crypto payments or whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
El Salvador out of nowhere, oh, Bitcoin is a legal tender. Today we had, was it Sweden? I believe I saw something, either Sweden or I think it was Sweden, but banning crypto payments whatsoever. China, liking the technology, but only, not liking the token itself. The US bringing up, what's it called? A whole letter about By the something we also need to talk about here, but as soon as we're done with this story, but today apparently we're all waiting on the whole stock market is waiting on the Fed's policy meeting today,
Oh, that's a
which
big
they're
deal.
also going to shine. They're also going to shine. They're just going to give a forecast on interest rates, bond purchase programs. They're going to adjust all of these things. And yeah, they're going to talk about inflation, economic growth, and definitely Bitcoin cryptocurrencies are something that everyone's anticipating. So I don't know if it's going to be good or bad when it comes down, obviously the whole market, and when it comes to the Federal Reserve or central banks, it's obvious it always kind of acts in a negative way. So we'll see how that plays out, man. But definitely, guys, you need to watch out for this. Listen to it, see what's happening there. Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow once we get the full news, the full scoop. But yeah, man, I think the whole market is in limbo right now. Inflation, everyone's talking about a market crash. Everyone's trying to see how they can hedge against it. You're seeing all these big billionaires trying to find somewhere, institutions trying to diversify to hedge against this loss, because a lot of their investments, the returns, or just investing in the stock market, returns are not even covering inflation at the moment. So everyone's trying to find ways that's global, that's global. Everyone's trying to find ways to hedge against that. And looks like, Bitcoin is definitely something everyone's interested in. So
Yeah, and man, like this Fed meeting is actually a very, very big deal because if they raise interest rates, that's actually extremely significant because we have recently seen inflation start to rise in the U.S. It went from like 2% year over year to 5% over this last year. That's actually pretty significant. And if we see interest rates rise, like I'm still trying to fully understand how this impacts the economy. But from my understanding, is that that affects borrowing and lending. A lot of these investment funds borrow a lot of money from banks, and it basically dries up liquidity. And once interest rates rise, there's less purchasing of bonds, less purchasing of stocks. And so, given that the whole American stock market is completely propped up by the American government and just endless spending and money printing, as soon soon as that money printing stops, that's the only thing that's propping it up. Like, man, the
Yeah.
stock market made new all-time highs recently. Is that because the American economy has been better? No, it's never been worse. Nobody's working. We're coming out of a shutdown. We had like record numbers in the U.S. of people filing for unemployment. The American stock market, or the American economy, has really never been worse. And meanwhile, the stock market is making new all-time highs. So why on earth is the stock market making new all-time highs if the reality on the ground is just getting worse and worse and worse? It's because the government has made a decision to artificially prop up the stock market. Because once the stock market's doing bad, then the country starts to look bad. And so as soon as interest rates start to rise and liquidity dries up, then that could really cause a correction in the stock market. And if we have a correction in the stock market while crypto and while Bitcoin is extremely precarious, then we could have a flash crash. And so 100%. This is actually extremely important following what happens in after that meeting. So guys, stay tuned to this channel because again, we're kind of your market analysts. We watch these markets all day, every day. We're on top of the news. So if we hear anything significant coming out, we're definitely going to be letting you guys know. So make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads. Look, guys, me and you, we can be silly, we can have fun, we joke around and stuff. But at the end of the day, we're talking about the most important factors.
The crypto gods.
Yeah, no, but yeah, no. I mean, look, man. I mean, we're consistently, especially if you guys have been watching us for months, we're constantly calling it, guys. We're calling the major support and resistance levels. We're calling breakouts. We're calling price targets in major factors to look out for. So again, folks, like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that bell icon.
100%. I see a bunch of people commenting. Venter saying hello, man, or
person,
whatever.
Do not assume gender.
Benjamin Miller saying crypto holders need to unite around voting out any elected officials that even talk about putting their grubby hands on people's dollars besides taxes. That's the main thing, where everyone's trying to find something that's not controlled by one government, that's not controlled by one politician, something that's based on software only, trustless. So obviously you need a bunch of these miners to spread out a bit, maybe just leave China a bit, maybe let us just absorb some of that mining power over here, just to decentralize, not the blockchain. Obviously the blockchain is already decentralized, but when you have a decentralized system, the more you accumulate, or the more you control the hash rate, or you more control whatever the case might be, there are ways for you to kind of have an edge on the market, even if it's decentralized. So that's something that it's not fully decentralized. The technology itself is decentralized, but there are ways to actually manipulate the market still, regardless. So but then again, it's not just either propped up or manipulated by one politician, one government only. So, and a lot of these big institutions, no one's patriotic, man. It's literally where the money is, where they can actually have a bit of a safer investment. That's where they're going. So yes, man. So we're at the 47 mark. We want to talk about Vechain. We want to talk about Cardano. We want to talk about Ethereum. Guys, let us know what Thank McDizzle. But I sent you one Bitcoin after you WhatsApped me, said you would double. I knew. What is it? Said you would double it. I haven't received. I knew you're one of those. Dang.
Man, I fell for the same thing, man. To be honest with you, I think it's a gas fee issue. Like I got this email saying if I send one Ethereum, I'll get 10 back, and I've been sending Ethereum and I haven't gotten anything back, man. I think it's the gas fees. I think I have to keep sending Ethereum. What do you think?
Yeah, it could be. It definitely could be. But Dank McDizzle definitely looks like someone that gets skinned.
Guys, look, we're all joking around here, but like there are some people who like seriously aren't aware of this.
That's actually, I really hope he's not crypto. Sorry, like damn McDizzle, man. If you actually did that, send us the phone number so we can send our CIA special forces to track down these guys.
Guys, look, we will never ask you to send us money. We will never DM you asking for money. We'll never DM you asking for crypto or to invest in us or for personal information. Please be aware of scammers. They're everywhere in the comments. Every video, every live stream we post, there's endless scammers. Just please be aware of scammers and please use your common sense. We will never ask you to send us your crypto or invest with us. So.
Did I tell you about the scammer I was talking to? Like one of those scammers on our channel. Like they just created a whole channel. aMillionortheMoon with the logo and everything, and he put
Oh,
his WhatsApp number, and I
yeah.
actually hit him up.
Did you? What do you say?
Yeah, I did. I'm like, man, look, I'm a huge fan of your channel. I love your posts, all that stuff. I heard, can I ask you some questions? Yeah, 100%. English is kind of broken, and he's saying, yeah, you need to send me some money to this address. And I'm like, oh, I sent it. What happened? Then for like 4 days, I was going back and forth with the guy, but definitely want to waste his time.
Man,
So
wasting scammers' time is one of the funniest things in the world.
it is. What's that channel called?
Kitaboga. Kitaboga.
Kitaboga.
Bro,
That's true.
guys, like this is like my guilty pleasure, which is watching Kitaboga and watching these videos of like people wasting scammers' time. Dude, it's one of the funniest things in the world. Trolling people who deserve to be trolled and wasting their time, bro.
100%, man. 100%. Sometimes you even feel bad for them as much as like he just kind of really goes in. But
Yeah. No. Anyways,
man.
let's
Vechain.
Vechain.
Want to
What's
talk
up,
about
baby?
Vechain?
Let's
Let's
take a
talk
look.
about Vechain. I have
take
it
a
open here, guys. If you want to talk about Vechain or something else, let us know in the comment section below. There's only 51 likes. Like the live stream for us, if you don't mind, before we shut this whole thing down, just call it a day. But obviously we're joking. Anyways,
It's a financial
Vechain,
crime to not smash the like button.
I think we might get demonetized if you keep saying that.
Really? Why?
Yeah, because you're spreading misinformation.
FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
The guy was definitely French. I could tell it was you. Anyways, man, let's just get back to business. Vechain right now is sitting at the 10 cents something. The Vechain Foundation today put out an article, far more than Walmart China, how Vechain leads blockchain adoption in the food industry around the globe. Obviously, there's a bunch of stuff about how Vechain is playing a huge role in the food industry. They're playing they kind of dabbled into the whole the latest pandemic tracking, vaccination, whatever the case might be, and they were involved with some hospitals, and just to show that we can kind of store some information there. This article, they go deep into Walmart China taking a food safety with Vechain Thor blockchain technology. Again, what do we have here? One step further towards blockchainization. Wow. With safe food traceability platforms, DNV, it's one of those quality control, I guess, or quality development companies that just helps out businesses, become improve their technological, aspects of their business, supply chain command. So again, some name that we've been seeing with Vechain for a while now. And again, ASI Group announced the first cross-continental logistics and trade solution based on the public blockchain for food and beverage industry in the second. I think this is the China International Expo, I believe. But anyways, man, something we didn't really fully read through it, but I think it's something that we, I don't know if they have any more new information that came out. It looks like everything we know about so far. But again, we'll just send this here for you in the description, and I just sent it in the chats as well, man. But look, man, let's hop into the price action.
Right. Yes. Do you want to go ahead, or do you want me to jump in?
Jump in.
All right. Okay. So, guys, on my end, it's very clear what I think about Vechain, because I think the major inflection point is rather obvious, which is I think I've identified the most price reactive, the most relevant support / resistance level for Vechain, that being the 200 exponential moving average on the 6-hour time frame. Constant, solid bedrock of support all throughout the most recent major dumps. Even in the short term, that's exactly where we found rejection, proving that the market thinks that even in the short term, this is extremely relevant. So for me, it's rather obvious. As long as Vechain's below this thing, Vechain's bearish. Once Vechain gets above and holds this thing, then we could pump. Vechain in the short term is looking quite bearish in my opinion. We're making lower lows, we're making lower highs, we're below volume, we're losing a major fib level. Vechain looks bearish in the short term. So for me, man, I think a retest of 9 cents, 9.1, the low 9-cent region, does make a lot of sense in my opinion. Even the RSI looking weak, still making lower highs in lower lows. MACD not looking very convincing, and I think it's actually quite simple what we're doing. We're going from overbought to oversold. Once we go to oversold, once we retest this 9-cent region, we'll probably retest 11 cents and see if we can break out.
Definitely. No, I agree, man.
Yeah.
We're currently sitting at the 10 cents. You could see how very the price action is very similar to what Bitcoin is doing. If we go to Bitcoin, same exact kind of range bound formation. So something to keep in mind. Obviously, to see Vechain is what is it? Where it's down 4% today. Bitcoin is down 3 point some percent. So obviously, some buyers are leaving the Vechain at the moment, but depending on what Bitcoin is doing. So as soon as Bitcoin starts, we're obviously reaching some sort of a support zone over here. So we do expect some sort of a rebound. So depending if you're trading or man, we should start live streaming just us trading.
Yeah, we have to.
Let us know, guys, in the chats, or we're planning on starting to do that soon in on our Discord as well. So let us know if that's something that interests you, or you just only care about just gains in 10x. If you want to talk about 10x and 100x all day long, then that's definitely something different. But right now we're sitting at the 10 cents. You can see how we're sandwiched between the 100 and 200 EMA. Brandon just brought up the 200 EMA as well, so very relevant price level. We broke below this, and Vechain kind of failed to go above. So something that's different from Bitcoin is Bitcoin was stuck in a wedge. We broke below it and actually went back to these higher levels. So that was the wedge we were looking at for the longest time. We broke below it. It was a bit of a, I guess that's not a fake out, I guess, but there was a short squeeze, obviously, and a buyer stepped in the market, and now we're back above. Typically this is a breakout from below. We need to continue to go down, but we're at a very price reactive level. The 30k goes well past as well from January levels. However, Vechain, right, so that's something important to make that analysis with Bitcoin. Vechain stayed at that bottom level, meaning that everybody's just waiting on Bitcoin. It's just the buyers jumped into Bitcoin. More accumulation happened with Bitcoin. That's what explains this whole Bitcoin dominance actually continuing to rise here in the past month or so, because Bitcoin is, they have better long-term holders, a lot more than Vechain. Vechain just started to actually recently here, beginning of the year, when we start seeing it's been a slow mover for the longest time. We got all the way to the top. You can tell a lot of people actually start to come in on January, and as soon as we got to the top and broke those major levels here at the 20 cent, 19 cent, 20 cent region, we're stuck in this wedge. I guess paper hands, people want to take profit. I guess, they do have a lot going on right now, Vechain, but is it enough for people to hold, especially when they see something crazy like this, man? If you're holding Vechain at the beginning of the year, literally, let's just go back to February, January, beginning of January. What do we have here? This January. 1,267%, man. Are you holding?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure a lot of people are.
Yeah, no, I'm still holding. No,
100%.
I'm still holding.
I know you are. I'm just saying a lot of people would take profits. So right now, this is where we're at. Keep in mind the fact that weekends, paper. But yeah, man, we're back at these lower levels. You know what this thing is capable of. But Bitcoin actually continues to have a bit of that leg up we've been all anticipating. Hopefully, we'll see it. We'll see what the market tells us. But yeah, you need to keep in mind the fact that it does follow Bitcoin. Bitcoin went above to these higher levels. Vechain didn't. Tells you a lot about the appetite and the buying power in the market right now, what everyone's looking at. So I guess the whole altcoin market is in stagnation mode, and we're all waiting on some sort of movement,
Yes, we are. Yes, indeed. No, I agree, man. Those are pretty much all my main points with Vechain here.
What do you guys want to take a look at? Maybe let's just talk Cardano.
Let's take a look at Cardano, maybe Ethereum.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Perfect. So, do you have Cardano on your end, or?
I gotta pull it up.
Here, I got it. Yeah. All right. So, folks, again, I think the inflection point for Cardano is quite clear. We need to hold $1.50 these 3 weeks. Currently, we're falling below $1.50.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What?
I think I said a fuck 50. No, guys, $1.50. But basically, ultimately, it's these 3 wicks. And if we go over to the weekly, we can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks of reactivity off $1.30, $1.31. So, if these 3 wicks cannot hold, then we're probably going to retest $1.31. And candle bodies are stronger than wicks. And so, this is going to be more significant support. So, if we can't hold the line here, then we're probably going to go down to $1.31, $1.30. And if that doesn't hold, oof, that's no bueno. We break. Because, man, if we don't hold that, oof, that's not good. That's not good. So,
hey, man, isn't like 70% of Cardano like staked or something, or
yeah,
locked up in some sort of?
I don't know, man, because the circulating supply is so much. Like if you look at the daily volume for Cardano, it's like quite high compared to other ones.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So,
Yeah.
like, right. I agree.
Yeah, no, do you have anything to add there? If not, maybe we can take a look at Dot Kusama. I see a lot of people talking about it.
Yeah, let's also talk about it. But maybe with Cardano, yeah, I don't think there's much to say here. We, if you watched the live stream from yesterday, again, $1.50 is where we need to be taking a look at. However, keep in mind that Cardano is probably one of, in my opinion, the best performers so far during this whole drop that happened. A lot of these altcoins went back down to January levels, including, we just talked about Vechain. Vechain went back down to, all the way back down to where we were in January. Not Cardano. Appetite is definitely different, so keep that in mind. But yeah, man, $1.50 is where it's at. If this thing doesn't hold, then I don't know what's gonna happen, man. Let's just
It's time to
have our
panic.
fingers crossed.
Time to panic because we
100%.
all know you panic sell bottoms and you chase pumps. That's how you succeed. Everybody knows that.
Hold up.
What?
The Dank McDizzle just give us a good comment here. Did you see this?
We
He's like,
flipped
this is
Dank
good
McDizzle.
alpha. I smashed the like. Oh, what a piece of. Oh, he smashed it twice, meaning he unliked.
Yeah, but he
Anyways.
no, but it's fine. It's fine. Anyways, guys, look, here's the thing, folks. Lots of important stuff to talk about here. Can we talk about Don and Kusama here for a sec?
Let's talk about Kusama. I know you wake
Alright.
up, sleep, and eat Kusama.
Yes, because guys, look, Kusama has been extremely interesting as of late. Parachain auctions have begun, but we're seeing a bit of a sell-off. So parachain auctions happened yesterday, and so this is one of the biggest catalysts, if not the biggest catalyst in Kusama's history. And what are we seeing now? A bit of a sell-off. So I do think this is a bit of buy the rumor, sell the news kind of situation. Although over the long term, like, man, for those who don't know, parachain auctions are essentially, if you want to be a Polkadot project, Kusama project, you need to bid for a parachain slot, and you do so by buying up Kusama and locking it up for about a year. And so, man, we're gonna have over the next couple weeks and months dozens and dozens and dozens of projects buying up tens of millions of dollars worth of Kusama to lock them up for, again, at least a year.
And does that happen?
Yeah, it started yesterday. The parachain auction started yesterday.
Oh wow. Well, when do they
Yeah.
close? Like.
Well, they're going on for weeks. For weeks and like it goes in batches. Like five projects will bid at first, and then a couple weeks later, another batch, another batch, another batch. So it kind of goes in batches. And so I actually participated in one of these parachain auctions with Korora. Korora is a DeFi hub for Kusama, kind of a swap / borrowing and lending. I think of Korora kind of like an Aave / Uniswap of the Kusama ecosystem. So guys, look. When you identify the kind of the major smart contract blockchains, Kusama, Solana, Zilliqa, whatever it may be, and you should try and find the major DeFi plays, swap plays, Oracle plays, because if those ecosystems are going to stay, then those DeFi and Oracle plays are likely to stay. And so when it comes to Kusama, I think Korora is one of the most interesting DeFi plays. So I participate in that, and I do think we're having a bit of sell the rumor kind of thing, or sell the news kind of thing, and we are breaking down bearishly. We're losing several layers of support. We currently have a bit of a base at about 350, so 350 does need to hold. If 350 doesn't hold, I think the next major impulse is down to 320, where the VPVR point of control is, and if 320 doesn't hold, oof, that's very bad news, bears. We have plenty of more downside potential if 320 don't hold.
So you're saying even with it being at 350, like you're still saying this is good right now for the time being. It's still good, like some sort of
we're sitting on
like
support.
short term. Like, what do you think this thing could reach to?
Well, we're still sitting on support. So just to identify this a
Right.
bit more clearly, we have a clear base of support right around here. So again, this was resistance. Once we broke above it, came back down to retest it, now acting as support. Extremely, extremely common, which is we form a base. And so right now, in the short term, we're just retesting our base. So as long as we hold our base, we're still in the clear. But we are breaking down past a few layers of support, this slanted trend line based off this wick to this one of our Fibonacci channels. So, and we're below volume. So there are some reasons to be bearish about Kusama in the short term. But again, we're still maintaining our base. So if we maintain our base, then we have a few layers of resistance above us. Ultimately, we want to get above this volume. We want to get above 400, 410. If we can get above 400, if we can get above 410, then we can retest 500. So that's what I'm looking out for with Kusama in the short term. We got to hold this base. That base doesn't hold, we're going down to 320. If we lose 320, we have plenty more downside potential.
100%, man. I
Yeah.
agree. So, guys, let us know. I don't know if you're good with Kusama right now, but
I'm
maybe we
good.
can move on to Ethereum or something.
Yeah.
Just to kind of talk about the price action, maybe wrap it up, maybe do a quick Q&A if you guys have any questions for us. But yeah, man, Ethereum right now is sitting at 24,000 and $13. We know where that major support is at the 2K is still the main level we're eyeing for the time being. For any, obviously, this thing dropped heavily from the 4,380 all the way down to the 1747, 60% drop there. Pretty painful to see, obviously, for a lot of people. But I guess again, if we're looking at the 4 hour, we like to use the 4 hour just to kind of gauge where the market's sitting at. We dropped below this and we've been below it. Looks like it is forming some sort of a I don't want to say, but could be some sort of a double top. So we need to see if that plays out the way it wants or no. Bitcoin is having that retracement at the moment. We are going down, so we want to see if this is also going to affect Ethereum's price action. But overall, for main levels of support, for me at least, I'm pretty sure the majority of the market was even looking at. Let's just look at the 1 hour, maybe. Let's just see what that's telling us right now. Overall, I would say that the market was looking at something like this. So let's see if that you can see higher lows. If Ethereum actually does hold this 20, maybe let's just say it can go back down to the 2,370. I would say somewhere around that level, but at least we don't want to see Ethereum go below the 2,300, because I think that will catalyze a lot more panic selling, and we can be easily going back to the lower levels at 2,000. So for the time being, obviously we're mimicking Bitcoin's price action. Obviously Bitcoin has, it's a clear uptrend as opposed to Ethereum right now. Just kind of, you're seeing a bit of an uptrend, but also not that, it doesn't look that strong for me. Yes, we want to see how that plays out, but we definitely know what's Ethereum dominance sitting at right now. Let's see.
Very good question.
17.6. So looks like we went back to these bit flow where I just want to go and check the daily here, but yeah, man, we're back to the kind of trying to go back down to lower levels. At one point we're at the 20, now we're at the 17. So let's see how that plays out. But obviously everything is following Bitcoin's price action for the time being, and Ethereum is definitely one of those. So yeah, man, down 5% today. What do you think?
Well, okay, so I have a few things I'm trying to pull up on my end here. So I do think Ethereum looks quite weak. So going back to my screen here. So this is the Ethereum Bitcoin pairing. This is very important to look at. This is a very, very good confirmation of the trend of Bitcoin and Ethereum. So the Bitcoin, right now we're sitting on, with Ethereum versus Bitcoin, Ethereum is sitting on our base here. So if we make a lower low right now, if we lose kind of this range, we're probably going to fall back down and retest one of our previous support / resistance levels. And if we do that, Ethereum is likely to fall further, in my opinion, if we lose that base. Also, if we take a look at the price structure of Ethereum here in the short term, so there's a few things to be aware of. Now, I know there's a lot of colors here, and let's see if I can maybe simplify this real quick here. Yeah, so let's see here. Give me 1 second, and that's probably better. There we go. Okay, so I know this is very, very busy, but I'm going to try my best here to really simplify and talk about what's important in this picture. So just please allow me to describe what's important here. So I do believe we're forming... I do believe we're forming a bit of a narrowing wedge here. I mean, whatever you call this thing, there's clear resistance above based off this wick, and we just extend that based off this one, and based off this cluster of wicks, just extend that. That's support. So we have a resistance level trend line, support trend line here. We're below two extremely significant moving averages for Ethereum. White line is the 21 exponential moving average on the 10 hour. Let me just double check this for sure. Yes, it is the 6 hour. Guys, there's so many charts I need to double check. Yeah, 21 EMA on the 6 hour. Very good chart for very good EMA for calling short-term price action for Ethereum. And this line is the 200 EMA on the 10 hour. So good. This white line good for short-term price action. Blue line good for long-term price action. Very price reactive. We can see several times with this blue line we held that as support during our major corrections, and we're currently below the two EMAs that I think are very good for short-term and long-term, which is bearish. That is no good to see. Also, we have the 21 weekly EMA and SMA below us at around 2200 acting as support. And I do believe 2200 is the inflection point, because We have high time frame moving averages right there as support. We have the what is this is the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement there acting as support as well. If we go to the weekly, we can see that on the weekly here we had this weekly wick react off this region and these candle bodies react off 2200 here. So I do believe 2200 is a very, very, very key range. So in the short term, we do look bearish, but again, we have a kind of cluster, a layer of support right below us at around the $2,200 region based off kind of the daily candles and the weekly fibs and moving averages. This kind of range here from about, I'd say maybe 2,200, maybe 2,300 to about 2,100, kind of this range should act as support. If we don't, then we would have put it in lower lows. We would break below the 21 weekly SMA and EMA, which is very, very worrisome. So again, guys, I think the key thing here throughout all these charts, the common theme is not putting in lower lows. That's the key danger. The key danger is lower lows. We can find rejection all live long day as long as we put in higher lows. And a breakdown from 22 would be a new lower low, and we would lose the 21 weekly moving averages. We would lose the volume as support. So that would be very, very bearish. So we pretty much gotta kind of hold 2200, or else Ethereum starts to look real weak, in my opinion.
Deep dive.
There
Just
we go,
went
man.
technical, deep dive. Thank you, man.
Yeah, man.
100%. I agree. I didn't fully look at the chart fully today, right? And that is, you look like you got it all figured out, man.
Well,
be
like,
honest with
you know, like I'm just an ETH fanboy.
You're
know?
just the crypto. You're just the crypto god, aren't you? You think
Bro,
you're a crypto god, aren't you?
I'm starting the cult, man. I want to start the cult. It's been a dream of mine. Like, how great would it be to just have like a fun cult, you know?
Yeah. No, whatever, man. Whatever. It's always about the color. But you're right, man. So Ethereum today down 5%, trying to find the support. We're seeing it happen right now. We're trying to see buyers are gonna jump in. So far, looking at even the 10-minute chart, it looks like we are trying to find that floor. But again, 15-20 minutes is very short. I'm looking at the daily right now, and everything is looking a bit, you know, all the indicators are taking down. 12-hour have been taken down in terms of volume, in terms of MACD, in terms of the RSI itself. 10-hour, same thing. 6-hour as well, same thing. 4 hours, same thing. Just literally the past 8 hours actually is when we move towards the bearish momentum. 3 hours as well. The only thing that might look like, you know, is not even the 1 hour as well. So on very lower time frames looks pretty good, as in like over sold. But we need to wait on that to reflect on those higher time frames. So yeah, man, I agree with you 100%. We're in this. Let's see how that plays out. Seeing a couple comments here. If we were to be in a break market right now and Bitcoin just decided to fake us out, ETH would be like 700, so still cheap. I mean, given we were in the middle of a bear market and this is just the beginning, I'm not saying that's the case, obviously, but have to keep an open mind.
Yeah, again, people calling bear market, I think it's too premature. We have not gotten macro confirmation of the trend. It's
Right.
way too premature to call bear market or bull market, in my opinion. Way
Yeah,
too
I
premature.
think so too, man. I think so too. I think just call up price action, just shut up about it. That's I feel like I should start saying like it's a just see we're in a bull market. So should I switch fully? I don't know.
Well, look, man, because I think it's extremely clear what would constitute a bear market and what would constitute a bull market, and we still haven't gotten confirmation of each. So to jump to conclusions, it's completely premature because we haven't gotten that confirmation.
That's true, 100%.
Yeah.
120 people listening. Thank you guys for pushing this far. We're at the hour and 12 minute mark. If you guys have any questions, even outside the charts, even whatever the case may be, if you have some trading questions, let us know. We're planning on starting, you know, just doing some live trades, not for you to just go ahead and just follow, obviously, but for just to kind of share our knowledge.
Follow blindly.
Follow blindly on our bybit 100x leverage everything. Also bonus if you can sell your kidney to make it happen. So 100% something you need to keep in mind here. But look, man, hour and 13 minutes. What do you think, man?
Well, I think maybe, you know, if people have any glaring questions, we can maybe address some questions. If not, we can maybe kind of start to wrap things up. Final words, anything you want to get off your chest? Maybe, because I do want to kind of summarize my thoughts on Bitcoin. But what do you think here, man? Any kind of final words to say?
No, I see someone asking, what do you say it's crazy? Would you say it's crazy to daily trade during this time? It seems risky to daily trade. Well, Gap Puppet, thank you. Very good question. Again, it is risky to day trade, but you also can do risk management and really control. You can't control your gains fully, but you can 100% control your losses. So during this time, everyone is in some sort of anticipation. We're consolidating, so the markets don't really move that much. There isn't crazy volume happening, but once we have a clear direction of where the market is, a lot of people made money on that drop. Everybody's has been shorting, and again, a bunch of people got liquidated. Why? Because they never had any stop losses. So you can still trade, but you will really need to pick. Which coins a lot of those traders or have the highest volume. For example, we're looking at Solana. For some reason, the whole market down right now. Solana's up 5%, right? So that's something. It looks like that's where traders are looking at right now. Something you might want to take a look at. Engine up 3%, and SXP USDT up 5% when the whole market
Are you
is
saying
actually
the chase
on the
bumps?
I'm not saying chase bumps. I'm saying those are the ones that most likely will follow the market sooner than later. They pumped, but the whole market is down. So maybe you should be looking at some sort of a short. That's how I look at it.
Okay, no, I got you, I got you. And also, we got to be super clear, man, because again, with us, we we know what we're talking about when it comes to trading, and so when we say short, like we understand, like, oh, this is a scalp, super low time frame, but some people
Hundo X.
hear that and they think it's going to zero, right? So look, what I would add here too is, look, man, if you find yourself asking these questions, then you're probably new, and the thing we all have to understand is that the vast majority of new people lose money trading. So if you want to learn how to trade, highly suggest you spend most of your time learning. You gotta learn. And so
Trading View has paper trading, man. Just connect to
yes,
paper trading,
or
guys.
spot trade at the really, if you want like real world advice, just like, or not financial advice, but real world practice, spot trade. Don't leverage. I mean, again, like
Yeah.
for me, man, if I were to do it over again from the beginning, especially in the beginning, I would do a lot less leverage and in spot trading. Until you
Yeah.
get more confident in your understanding. I also see a question here asking, so Dominic is asking, do you know a good resource to start learning about technical analysis and chart reading? That is a very, very good question. So number one thing I would say is join our Discord group, because in our Discord group we have free, we have several different resources sections
Oh,
that are
right,
free.
right.
That we post several different trading resources. So number one, join our Discord. Number two, I would also say maybe take a second here to shill Philcone. So
Yeah.
Philcone, he is a crypto YouTuber. We learned a lot of technical analysis from this guy. We like this guy a lot. He's super super heavy into technical analysis, like no bullshit, kind of like heavy TA guy. So we highly recommend you check out Philcone. He has paid courses, but he also has a bunch of free stuff. So I mean, go through these playlists. Like, look, he has like dozens of videos that are free. So check these out. And yeah, we've learned a lot from Philcone, so we definitely recommend him.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of resources out there for you yeah, I would say mainly as well, Silicone. His style is a bit too aggressive sometimes as well. So
Yeah.
something to keep in mind. There's more reserved traders out there, so that you can also take a look at. But overall, Silicone has been the guy for the past, man, what, like 4 years, 5 years? I remember it's been
Yeah.
a minute. So, and he also puts out a lot of resources out there, a lot of books he actually reads and a bunch of stuff. So, anyways, the guy's not really fully. He's just mainly a trading guy, but definitely a very, very, very good resource. Tell him we sent you.
Yeah,
So
no, yeah, he's
we should get him on the channel, man.
bro, we should. That would be amazing.
Hundred
Yeah, yeah.
percent. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, if you sign up to any of his things, tell him we sent you. Because look, we like this guy. He's again aggressive day trader. But if you even still like if you're just trying to learn charting, Philicone's great, solid dude.
100%, man.
Yeah.
So you said you had some closing thoughts on Bitcoin. What do you got there?
Yes. So just to close off here, man, if you don't mind, I think I want to take a second to just summarize what I'm looking out for to understand whether we're in a bull market or bear market. Like, how do we get clarity in the space where there's reasons to be bullish, there's reasons to be bearish? How do you know what's going on? Well, what you need to look out for is confirmation of the trend, which we still have not gotten confirmation of the macro bullish or bearish trend. For me, man, I think it's pretty clear. I think we're forming a head and shoulders. A lower low below 30,000 would constitute a bearish breakdown from this head shoulders, and the price target for that is literally bottomless. So for me, I'm using 30K as the inflection point, where if we break down from 30K, I think that would make it likelier than not that we're entering a bear market. Or for the bullish case, we need to retest this red trend line, break out bullishly. If we need to do this, we need to break out bullishly, come back down, retest it, hold it as support, flip resistance into support, and then once we do that, we can enter price discovery once again. So for us to be confident in the state of the bull market, we need to, number one, get above each one of these moving averages: 200 daily exponential, 200 daily simple, and 50 daily simple. Then we need to get above this red trend line. So there's 4 major layers of resistance that we need to get above. Each one we get above makes it more likely that the bullish trend will continue. So we need to flip all these 4 layers of resistance into support for the bull market to continue, and we need to make a lower low below 30K for the bear market to continue. So it's extremely clear what we need to see to call bull market or bear market, which is we need macro confirmation of the trend, and a bullish breakout above this red trend line would be bullish confirmation, and a lower low below 30,000 would be bearish confirmation. And just to quickly summarize why that trend line is so relevant, looking at the 2019 false bull market, if we draw a trend line from the high here to the next lower high, extend it, we came up to retest it, got rejected, confirmation of the bear trend. Even looking at the 2018 bear market, the beginning of the goddamn bear market, draw a trend line from all-time high, next lower high, extend it, we came back up to retest it, got rejected, confirmation of the bear market. So first off, even when we're entering a goddamn bear market, we never just go down in a straight line forever. We have relief rallies and we have confirmation of the bear trend. What have we not gotten in the short term? Any kind of confirmation. We do not have any kind of macro confirmation. We need to see how we react off this level. We need to see if we put in lower lows. Each lower low that we make, the more worried I get. Rejection is fine. The key thing is not putting in lower lows. And each one of these resistance layers is what we need to get above to start feeling more bullish. So those are my main takeaways with Bitcoin.
Truer words have never been spoken. Perfect. I love it.
There we go.
Listen, man, the late adopter. Thank you for the donation. 31 Canadian dollars. Me and CoinSkid and Mikuji, I don't know who that is, are doing TA OnlyFans. You guys are in luck. We're in. I don't want to see some crazy. You get what I'm saying? We don't want to see anything crazy. But what do you think about OnlyFans?
Well, we appreciate the support. And by the way, man, I tried to get you, because we have a Patreon, and I was like, dude, we got to do this through OnlyFans.
So we're doing a DJ kit. We're pulling off a DJ calendar.
Bro, yeah, we could be the leaders in technical analysis of OnlyFans.
All right, late adopter, hit us up. We'll hit you up. OnlyFans tomorrow.
Thank you for the support.
We'll give Brendan a quick, nice haircut, I guess. We'll just set everybody up. So,
by the way, was I not on my screen?
I'm not really sure.
Ah,
no, you were on your screen.
I was.
You were.
Okay,
yeah, I was looking at. Okay, so late adopter, thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. CoinSkid and Mikuji. I don't know who Mikuji is. Just check your channel. 100%. Thank you for the support. We will hit you up on OnlyFans, I guess. But yeah, man, I agree with what you said. 100%. We need to see that confirmation. We need to see. We don't think it's a radical idea or a radical movement for Bitcoin to go back up to these higher levels and hit the 50K, even if we are, forecasting some sort of a bear market. We've been moving Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still at 40K. Yeah. Even if we drop to the 30K, even if we drop to 25K, Bitcoin is at 25K, guys. Yeah. 25K. So keep that in mind, man. You don't see that every day. Definitely you don't see it every day. So with everything going on, Bitcoin's back up 36% right now from this all-time lows we had. And yeah, man, let's see. I don't think it's a radical idea for this to go up, but we just need to see if the market is actually ready for buyers to step in, and if buyers will actually step in. We got Feral Minx. Are you guys from Canada? 100%.
We're from France.
Where are you from? Let us know, guys. Where are you guys from? Where are you? So what do you got? Late adopter. That's what I've been saying. OnlyFans is where the money is. I've been watching you guys for a while. Keep it up. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Creators support creators, and we will definitely hit you up. We got to get you on the channel as well.
Yeah, support content creator.
100%. But anyways, man, the narrative outside of today is pretty bullish. Yes, it is. Dominic says as well. Thank you very much. Yeah, man. Look, things are pretty good. Let's see how things play out. And again, we need to stay smart, stay positive, check the news, collect as many data points as you can, and into your
And
analysis.
FOMO buy 100x leverage with our Bybit
And
link.
buy the top and sell the bottom.
With
That's what it is.
with our Bybit link down in the
With
description
our
below.
Bybit link, guys.
Yeah, no. Yeah, man, no. So, yeah, sorry for interrupting you, but no, look, ultimately, guys, you know, thank you all so much for your support. Thank you guys all so much for being here. You guys are the best. You guys are awesome. Do not forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that bell icon, and notifications, because anytime anything interesting or significant happens, we're going to be talking about it on this channel. Make sure you stay tuned. We're going to be sharing our thoughts all the time. Also, if you like what we do, you want to support us, you want more access to ourselves until we get the OnlyFans up and running, check out our VIP Discord.
Bro.
Get access to our Patreon. Link for that is down in the description below.
What am I going to tell my mom?
You don't tell her anything. Just tell her you're an OnlyFans. Mom, I'm bringing in the bucks. I'm a strong, independent woman. All right.
I guess so, man.
You don't need no man to take care of you.
Whatever, man. Anything to get the bucks, anything to get the money, I guess.
Yeah.
We're losing money in this crypto space. We need some way, shape, or form to make this money.
Yeah.
And we're starting a cult soon, guys. So make sure.
Yes, stay tuned for the cult.
For the links.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. Lots of barbecues, coupons, good stuff.
Man,
and, a little bit of blackmail.
Dank.
What? What?
He's saying chill time. We can't chill for 5 minutes. We've been talking for an hour and a half, Dank. I'm about to get you on this live stream. He's actually coming to the live stream.
Dank,
I want to see you saying this shit.
You can't let Dank rile you up, man.
He is right. I can't do it. I'm riled up.
Here's the thing, Dank. It is what it is, man. Like there's no there's no secrecy here. Yeah, it is shill time. We will shill our VIP disc group. We provide a shit ton of value. And look, we're all grown ups here. We're not forcing you to do anything. If you guys like what we do and you guys want more access to ourselves and the stuff we look at, kind of the opportunities we're exploiting, what we're buying when, kind of the staking opportunities we're looking at, become a VIP Discord member. If not, then stay tuned to live streams, because we talk about all the major factors we're looking at in the live streams. It's just, if you guys want a little bit of extra content, that's what we have that for.
Meet me at the parking lot. I'll see you at the parking lot. Thank you. I'll catch you slipping. Anyways, man, thank you guys for watching. Late adopter, we're going to hit you up. We want you on this channel. Pretty sure we'll do something, some sort of TA for everybody. So thank you guys. And make sure you stay tuned. Have a great day.
A long-term outlook.
What the